Now on 4 News Now at 6, we have team coverage tonight tracking storms and strong thunderstorms moving through our area. We'll let you know when the storms will be impacting your neighborhood in the First Alert forecast.
A new mental health clinic in Coeur d'Alene is hoping to revolutionize the industry and make care more accessible.
Plus, only a fraction of the more than 600 people who once lived at Camp Hope remain. Why one man says it's safer for him to stay there. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with a live look over Spokane. The skies might be looking pretty clear there for now, but get ready. We're tracking thunderstorms across the inland northwest right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. We have team coverage tonight, starting with Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the First Alert Weather Center on how strong these storms are going to be.
Well, we already have some strong thunderstorms in progress, with the possibility of some isolated severe storms as we get into the evening. Here's a look at our radar and satellite right now. You can see we've got storms developing all across the region. We'll have more on that in just a minute. But here are some of the hazards expected with these storms, and we've already seen some of this. Damaging wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and perhaps higher. Large hail up to an inch in diameter, enough to cause roof and car damage, and flooding, a big concern. We already have many streams and smaller creeks on bankful because of our melting snow, and now we're adding torrential rain to that picture. We're going to check in now with meteorologist Matt Gray, who has been tracking these storms all afternoon and will tell us where the strongest storms are now. Matt?
All right, yeah, let's take a look over at the radar here, and we'll begin in Cheatham, where we do have pretty strong storm that's going to be passing just to the north of town, and this likely has at least a little bit of hail crossing Lake Roosevelt right now, and then it's going to push its way up into Kettle Mountains. We also have a little storm near Republic and some wet weather moving into the Tonasket area. This is one of 4 groups of storms that we are tracking this evening. We'll move over here to another storm that's had a history of producing hail. This is going to pass north of Cusick, right around the Blue Slide area. Everything is moving to the north and to the west at about 15 miles per hour. So in the next 30 minutes, that'll end up crossing Highway 20 there as we go through that time period. It was pretty stormy in about a half hour ago in the North Idaho Panhandle. Things have cleared out considerably. Look what's happening here, though, to the south of St. Mary's. These storms do look like they're starting to collapse a little bit at this hour, but still chance for a little bit of rain and some thunder and lightning in the St. Mary's area as we get into the next 30 minutes or so. 30 to 60 minutes, about 40 minutes away from there in St. Mary's from getting a little bit of rain. And then some stronger storms as we head to the south, mainly south of Lewiston and the Camas Prairie, and then across the Blue Mountains. These are likely going to be our strongest storms here over the next hour or so. And we do have the potential for more storms to come out of the south and out of Montana as well. And for that part of the story, I'll send it back over to Chris with your Futurecast.
Yes, we do have more storms on the way and the potential for strong storms through the evening and isolated severe storms as well. Let's take a look at the area where we have that possibility of strong storms. It has been expanded just since our 5 o'clock hour all the way to the Canadian border now, but this entire area shaded in orange. We have the possibility of some isolated severe storms, and here is our 12-hour storm chances. So if it is clear at your house now, it may not be very shortly. Let's take a look now at our forecast radar, or at our evening forecast rather. A chance of thunderstorms throughout the evening with temperatures dropping into the 60s. I'll have an hour-by-hour timeline on when those storms will be moving into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Chris, thank you. Tonight, the numbers at Camp Hope falling once again. The camp that once held 679 people now down to 33.
But there's still work to be done to find housing for the people still there. Our Jordan Smith joins us live from inside the camp with more on these efforts, and he's hearing from the people still at Camp Hope tonight.
Well, you can see the transformation that's taken place here at Camp Hope, a place that was once having RVs and tents stacked on top of each other just months ago, now down to its final 33 people.
Immense progress from July of last year. Camp Hope transforming from a tent city into a sparse lot. less than 3 dozen people remain.
We're down to 33, which is roughly an 83% decrease from where it was in December.
WSDOT thrilled with the progress.
I mean, that for us is we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We've seen every single week the numbers decrease.
Still, though, 33 people remain. With expanded resources now available, it's worth asking what obstacles are in their way.
Most people think the last of us are all crazy or major drug addicts. That's not the case. There's a lot of us in here that aren't.
This is Gary Selchenberg, who's been in and out of homelessness for the better part of 2 decades. We saw him walking barefoot, doing chores this afternoon outside his makeshift home. He tells me people feel secure here.
I could either be here or I could be down by the river, taking a risk of getting killed or whatever, you know. There's women in here that, they got to worry about, if they were out there, what would happen to them? This is a better place.
For him, it's been difficult for his caseworker to secure a place for him to relocate to, particularly one that will welcome 2 large pit bulls. And change is challenging for so many, especially those who deal with substance abuse or mental health disorders.
Change is always different for our population. For the unsheltered homeless, especially folks who are struggling with mental health issues, which is most of the people in the camp right now.
And we asked Maurice Smith, a camp manager here, if they had an end date in mind for when they would like to see this place completely vacated. He couldn't give me a firm date, but he's hopeful within the next 60 days that'll happen. Certainly something we'll be keeping an eye on as more people move out of here. For now, reporting in Camp Hope tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Jordan, thank you. New at 6 o'clock, a man who was wanted for escaping custody and had several warrants out for his arrest is back in jail tonight. Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says they found 35-year-old Jesse Brebner in Hayden. When officers saw Brebner, he allegedly tried to escape by ramming patrol cars and driving away. Authorities were eventually able to take him into custody. Brebner had active warrants out of Washington for escape, failure to comply with supervision, and eluding the U.S. Marshal's Office. Investigators also say Brebner is a suspect in an Airway Heights incident where an officer was seriously injured.
A device meant to steal your credit card information has been found at a Grant County gas station. That's according to the sheriff's office. Take a look at your screen. You can see what the card reader looks like on your left without the card skimmer, and then the one on the right has the card skimmer. The sheriff's office says they don't know how many people might have swiped their cards at the pump before the device was discovered. Anyone who may think they are a victim or finds a similar device is asked to call local law enforcement.
And it's not just the pump where these devices are being installed. Recently, a similar device was found at a convenience store in Post Falls. I did a deep dive into how these devices work and the signs to look out for to protect yourself from scammers. You can find my special report right now on KXLY.com. The Downtown Spokane Clean Team and volunteers are busy cleaning downtown this week to make the city look better for events. Spokane is hosting Bloomsday, of course, and the USA Handball Team Open this weekend.
Ramping up efforts to clean up the downtown core, Peter Choi had a chance to follow these busy volunteers.
I'm in downtown Spokane right now, where graffiti like this is becoming more of an issue. I spoke to Downtown Spokane Partnership Clean Team, who says cleanup graffiti takes up a large portion of the daily cleanups, but it says it's worth it to create a better impression for the city, especially ahead of Bloomsday this Sunday.
On the corner of the 1st Avenue and Howard Street in downtown Spokane, crews are scrubbing away Spokane's eyesores, graffiti.
It has to be harsh enough that, unfortunately, it removes all.
Joshua joined the Downtown Spokane Clean Team earlier this year.
It makes me feel good because, this is my community, this is my city for sure. So the fact that we're able to make a small incremental difference, it just feels nice.
Last year, our clean team abated about 4,500 tags inside the Business Improvement District, which is only about 80 square blocks of downtown. That is a pretty big number.
The Downtown Spokane Partnership Marketing Director says cleaning graffiti is expensive right now.
So a can of the spray paint the spray that we use to remove the paint is about $22. A gallon of 5 gallons of Taganator is about $500. Obviously, paint is pricey, so it really adds up.
The director says it also takes up a long time to remove graffiti, taking up nearly 40% of the daily cleanups.
Gloves, I have vests.
On Thursday, volunteers are also picking up trash around the downtown. The Downtown Spokane Partnership says it needs more volunteers. You can find more information on how to join the team on our website, kxly.com.
Prettier the better for all those positive impressions.
In downtown Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, the Kraken are looking to take a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Stars tonight in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll have a preview of Game 2 next on 4 News Now at 6.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Save your green at Jennifer's.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
From Chud Sr. to Dick Wendell, to Kristen and myself.
And now to our kids. Our goal is to help people drive for generations.
From roll-up windows to power everything. From stick to automatic. From gas to electric.
No one can totally predict what technology is coming our way.
But I can guarantee we will be here before and after the sale, giving you the confidence for generations to come.
That's the Wendell way. Drive for generations.
At Just Between Friends, you'll find everything you need for your family. It's all here.
I've been shopping in JBF since my kids were little, and we just love it.
Is the one-stop shop for everything that you need for your kids and your grandkids.
I'm a first-time mom. I got a lot of clothing, shoes, I got a changing table. It's been a lot of fun.
Such a blessing to be able to shop, sell, and save at JBF. This has been a game changer for our family.
Just Between Friends at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds this weekend.
Our motto here at Holiday Heating is fixed right or it's free. That means that we'll get the job done right the first time, and if we don't,
we will own up to that and we will take care of it for you for free.
Fixed right or it's free means that we are accountable for the 100% satisfaction of our customers.
We'll come back and get the job done and with no additional charge to the customer.
We are humans and we do make mistakes, but we are here to make it right and make sure our customers know that.
Hotels are booked, restaurants and bars are going to be full for Bloomsday this weekend, so you'll want to prepare.
Oh, definitely. We're in store for a very busy weekend around the Lilac City. Vanessa Perez live at the Convention Center where setup for the trade show is happening. Vanessa.
Well, vendors have started to move in and people can start to check in for the race and pick up their race bibs starting Friday morning. Over 130 vendors are at this trade show, and you don't have to be in Bloomsday to come down either. This is a free event. One of Spokane's biggest community events will be back in action this weekend.
The town's full. The hotels are full. Bars and the restaurants are full. The park is full. A lot of action going on.
Crowds will be a moneymaker for the Lilac City. Last time Bloomsday did a study, they found that there was a $14 million economic impact. The Davenport is pretty much sold out at all 5 of its hotels. Hotel stayers ranging from international to around the country.
I think it's just a great, spectacular time to be here in Spokane. We're excited to share our beautiful destination with everybody, not only here that come for the race, but those that may be following it online or through whatever media channels they can. This is a beautiful time for the city to shine.
Restaurants and bars are bracing for the crowds of people.
You know, we do the very best job that we can, but when you bring this many people into town, we're going to have some lines.
David's Pizza is bringing in more food and increasing the frequency of deliveries to get ready.
Expecting some very, very big days ahead of us. Really, it gets started on Friday, but it goes all the way through Sunday night. It's a big time for us. If you want to eat, I suggest eat early.
Your best bet at getting around downtown is going to be to take the bus, which costs $2. If you do decide to drive, you're going to want to park on the north side or south side of the river and park many blocks away from downtown.
So it's going to be a great weekend for a run, and we're excited to see everybody come in, either at David's Pizza or at Bloomsday, or any of those other great restaurants and bars that are out there.
As Bloomies prepare to fill the streets of Spokane. And the trade show opens Friday morning at 11:30. That'll go on through 8 p.m. Then it'll be back open Saturday at 9 a.m. running through 6:30 p.m. You'll find health, fitness, and much more vendors here at the trade show. Live from the Spokane Convention Center, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Vanessa, thank you. Game 2 between the Seattle Kraken and the Dallas Stars. Well, that's going to begin in about 20 minutes. Seattle looking to take a 2-0 series lead.
Sports director Julian Minenzone joins us live in studio to talk about the Kraken's chances of really winning that second straight road game. Julian.
Kirsten, Aaron, it will not be easy. Seattle has been in this position before. The Kraken won Game 1 against the Colorado Avalanche in the first round, and then they turned around and Seattle ended up losing Game 2. That was the Kraken's only road loss in the playoffs so far. The Kraken had 26 road wins this season, which is the third most in the Western Conference. So expect Seattle to come out with a sense of urgency as they look to take that 2-0 series lead before heading back to Seattle for Games 3 and 4.
In Colorado, they definitely jumped us in Game 2, and this time around, I think we're going to be more prepared.
I don't draw too much from it. Maybe we got to be a little bit better at home. I guess that's what I would draw from it. Sometimes there's trends that you see throughout the year. That's been one for us. We've been comfortable on the road.
And they'll look to win on the road tonight. The puck drops shortly after 6:30, and we'll have a score update coming up later in sports.
Thank you, Julian. We have got a cool and showery Friday on the way. Still the possibility of some isolated thunderstorms. We'll start the day off around 50, only warming up to a high of 55 degrees. I'll show you where the thunderstorms are now after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Wedney Spring Brides Day Out.
At Colville Toyota, the pups are always sniffing out a deal that works best for you. Plus, our entire team is customer focused.
If you want a hassle-free, simple, easy, enjoyable, and quick customer service, take a scenic drive to Colville Toyota.
We're customer-centered and here to help you with the new Toyota car, SUV, truck, and our mix of certified and used vehicles.
Colville Toyota, where it's easy to buy, easy to do business with.
We're your small-town dealership with a big heart.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history, Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step, the 25th anniversary show.
May 26th through 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts.
I'm a little over my head here.
We can certainly take care of that for you. When you're looking for a company that's noteworthy, look no further than Mainstream Electric.
Looking for some fun? Then come play for the day at the Coeur d'Alene Casino and discover new ways to win big inside the new Discovery Den, the first and only video game testing room in the U.S. with many of the top manufacturers in the world under one roof, where you get to play them first and decide which games stay and which ones don't. You will set the trends for the future of gaming, only at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome home.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Unleash your spring adventure by scoring a great rate on a Northwest Motorsport rig. Check out the best selection of lifted trucks, diesel trucks, and adventure-ready SUVs at nwmsrocks.com. Power up your spring journey with Northwest Motorsport.
Keeping an eye on thunderstorms around the region, still in the same spots down from the Blue Mountains through the LC Valley. Some activity in the central panhandle and then up into the Northeast Mountains and Okanagan area. Especially interested in this activity to the south of Lewiston, one of our stronger storms near the Craigmont area, capable of producing 50-mile-per-hour gusts as well as up to nickel-size hail. But one of the big concerns with these storms is the potential for up to inch in diameter hail. I've not seen that yet, but here's a look at our forecast radar. Starting off at 7 o'clock, those storms are moving to the northeast and may be impacting the Moscow and Pullman area just in the next couple of hours, moving into Spokane around 9 o'clock. Meanwhile, we continue to see thunderstorm development in the Northeast Mountains and through the Okanagan. We will see those thunderstorms through the evening. Here's midnight. A lot of that activity shifting to the north and west. Well, we may get a little bit of a break in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but additional, more isolated thunderstorm development is possible right on through the overnight and then again tomorrow morning. Here's 10 a.m. with more storms brewing down around Lewiston. Here's our chance of precipitation tomorrow. Right now, very likely we are going to see some rain through the morning. Then we get a bit of a dip for the early part of the afternoon before things pick up again for Friday evening. This is for Spokane, so a very good chance you're going to get rained on at your house, at least for part of the day. We will get some breaks, however. There are flood alerts through the weekend for the region. We've got our rivers, streams, and creeks running very, very high already because of the snow melt, and then add that heavy rain on top of them. A couple spots where we already have flood warnings, and I'm suggest we'll probably see more because these storms are coming along with some torrential rain, and some are not particularly fast moving. Right now, those storms down around Lewiston moving our way at about 40 miles per hour, though. Here's a look at our high temperatures. That is the other story for Friday. Not only the wet weather, but a dramatic drop in temperatures. We were in the mid-80s the past couple of days. 70s today. We'll be in the 50s for highs in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, only 51 in Moscow and Pullman, and 62 in Lewiston, 68 in Bonners Ferry. We'll stay cool through the weekend. A good chance of showers on Saturday. Balloons Day Sunday right now is looking reasonable. The cooler weather actually welcome for the more serious runners, or actually anyone even jogging. 60 sounds pretty nice. Only a 20% chance of rain right now, but we are working hard on that forecast. Thunderstorms possible again on Monday, and at least a slight chance of rain all the way through next week. We also have a warming trend. We'll be back up in the 70s by Thursday. In the meantime, Matt Gray and I are back in the weather office tracking these thunderstorms. We'll have an update for you at the bottom of the hour. Aaron.
Chris, thank you. New at 6 o'clock, take a look at this video. It's from the Spokane County Sheriff's Office showing rescue crews hoisting up a hiker who was missing for more than 24 hours in the Liberty Lake area earlier this week. He was found safe just across the Idaho border. The hiker is now home with his family.
Still ahead, a new mental health clinic in Coeur d'Alene is hoping to revolutionize the industry. What they're doing to attract more therapists to the area coming up.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Chicago. Celebrating 25 years of Broadway razzle-dazzle. The Associated Press calls Chicago the most entertaining musical of the decade. Paint the town again with Chicago the Musical.
May 13th and 14th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
This place holds very special memories for Charlie. It's where he grew up, where he built his business, where his heart is. But not long ago, it was Charlie's heart that needed help. When he realized he was having a heart attack, Kootenai Health's team of more than 40 cardiac care providers was only minutes from his home. That's where Dr. Fritz and Dr. Burnett performed life-saving, state-of-the-art care to heal Charlie's heart.
Tomorrow, the coronation, now just days away, and GMA invites you to a front row seat to history. Join Good Morning America for all the royal pageantry, the family, the celebrations, the fashion, and oh yes, the parties on Good Morning America.
At Eastern Washington University, biologists are harnessing gut microbes to build stronger bees. Entrepreneurs are learning how to innovate and become the job creators of tomorrow. And dental hygiene students are providing specialized care to ensure pregnant women from disadvantaged backgrounds and their infants stay healthy. An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world? That's the New Think. Learn more at ewu.edu/newthink.
Don't miss the grand opening celebration of Quality Stoves and Spa's inspiring new showroom. Create a spectacular outdoor oasis with Quality's large selection of outdoor furnishings, hot tubs, and swim spas at tremendous savings. Ends Saturday. Quality Stoves and Spas, Post Falls.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington State Lottery.
Around the nation, 4 members of the Proud Boys, including its leader, have been found guilty of conspiring to disrupt the certification of the 2020 election.
It's surrounding their actions leading up to and on the day of the deadly January 6th Capitol insurrection. CNN's Cole Higgins has more.
4 members of the Proud Boys, who are alleged to have leadership positions in the far-right extremist group, found guilty of seditious conspiracy by a jury in Washington, D.C., more than 2 years after the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. Defendants Enrique Tarrio, the Proud Boys' longtime chairman, Ethan Nordine, Joseph Biggs, Zachary Real, and Dominic Pizzola faced a range of charges for their roles to forcibly prevent the peaceful transfer of power from then-President Donald Trump to Joe Biden after the 2020 election. All 5 defendants found guilty of obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to prevent an officer from discharging any duties, obstruction of law enforcement during civil disorder, and destruction of government property and aiding and abetting.
This is sending the signal that there are serious consequences to domestic groups that decide to interfere with the workings of democracy.
Prosecutors playing the jury this moment from a presidential debate.
Stand back and stand by, but I'll tell you what, somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
The defense arguing it was Donald Trump who caused what occurred on January 6th, and that Tarrio, who wasn't at the Capitol that day because he had been arrested, was a scapegoat. Prosecutors saying that after the insurrection, Tarrio posted to social media, quote, "Make no mistake, we did this." I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
After 6 decades of research, the world's first vaccine to protect older adults against RSV has been given the green light by the FDA. The results of a large clinical trial of this vaccine show it is 83% effective at preventing lower respiratory tract disease caused by RSV. It's also 94% effective at preventing severe disease in seniors. Doctors say the vaccine could have a big impact on future RSV seasons.
To nip it in the bud with prevention or reducing the severity before it even occurs is how we make changes in our public health.
Designed to be given as a single shot to adults 60 and older, it could be available for seniors as soon as this fall, pending a recommendation from the CDC.
The CDC says COVID-19 was the 4th leading cause of death in the U.S. last year based on provisional data. That's a drop from earlier in the pandemic when it ranked 3rd. Unintentional injuries are once again in that spot, with heart disease and cancer killing the most people. The CDC attributes 1 in 13 deaths last year to COVID as an underlying cause or a contributor.
A major hiring event in the airline industry is going on this weekend.
The impact it could have on your summer travel plans if not enough people are hired. Coming up, plus.
A new mental health clinic is now open in Coeur d'Alene, and they're doing things a little bit differently. Why they say services like these are desperately needed in northern Idaho. Coming up next.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
If you have a fear of missing out, you might want to start earning with a free Camas Rewards card because, dude, Camas Rewards at Northern Quest for all the ways you play.
At Just Between Friends, you'll find everything you need for your family. It's all here.
I've been shopping in JBF since my kids were little, and we just love it.
Is the one-stop shop for everything that you need for your kids and your grandkids.
I'm a first-time mom. I got a lot of clothing, shoes, I got a changing table. It's been a lot of fun.
Such a blessing to be able to shop, sell, and save at JBF. This has been a game changer for our family.
Just Between Friends at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds this weekend.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history. Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step. Experience the breathtaking phenomenon, Riverdance, the 25th anniversary show.
May 26th through 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
We don't need a line of credit from STCU right now. Business is booming.
Can I be frank with you? The moment you need a line of credit, you don't qualify for it. It's a paradox.
Like, the more I insist that I don't quality test the laughing gas, the more people think I do.
Do you? Anyway, no, it's like flossing so you don't get a cavity. Open up a line of credit now to stay strong when business isn't booming.
What do you think?
All right, let's celebrate. Go ahead and turn that gas on.
No, put that down.
STCU Business. Partner up.
At Northern Quest, we offer the lowest minimum bets and highest maximum bets. Because only you know if you're feeling lucky, punk. I mean, valued guest. Northern Quest. Yes, the best.
Of course I know the theme song.
Entertainment Tonight. That's what people want.
It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
We're taking a live look over downtown Spokane. Starting to get a little grayer than it was earlier. Strong thunderstorms making their way into our area as well.
We continue our team coverage tonight. Let's send it straight over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker at the First Alert Weather Center, who's been tracking these storms for us tonight.
And we have plenty of storm activity all around the region. Just haven't seen much in Spokane yet, but we are surrounded, watching several areas of strong storms, and they are all moving to the northwest, difficult to avoid. And we do have the chance of some severe thunderstorms yet this evening. We are in this possible area, in this area shaded in orange. It's been expanded to go all the way up to the Canadian border. We've already seen several strong thunderstorms. Here's a look at our computer model looking at the timing into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Some stronger storm activity around 9 o'clock. We have more coming in around 10. We may get a little bit of a break. Things quiet down around midnight, but additional thunderstorm development is possible through the overnight. Here's 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, the computer model showing things picking up around 9. However, we're seeing signs that that could be a little bit earlier, and for that, I'm going to send it over to meteorologist Matt Gray, who's been tracking some strong storms southeast of here. Matt?
That is correct, and we'll go ahead and flip over to live radar now. As you can see, it is pretty quiet across the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene Metro, but for how much longer? It doesn't seem like it's going to be for that much longer. Take a look at what is happening near St. Mary's at this hour, and what you can see is some heavy rain moving down the St. Joe River, probably about 10 minutes or less away from St. Mary's. This is starting to move pretty fast now, folks, at about 30 miles an hour. And this core of this storm is what we're going to be watching as it moves across Lake Coeur d'Alene and into southern portions of Spokane County. So if we take this line and we edge this out on the storm tracker, you can see this is about an hour away from the Rockford and Fairfield area. And in Plummer, you're about 30 minutes away from this, which is now a redeveloping storm. It has strengthened here as we've watched it over the past several minutes. So within probably the next hour to hour and a half, so that would put it in the 8 o'clock hour, we have a good chance to see at least a little bit of activity around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, or at least within a half hour south of the area. Also seeing some pop-up storms across the Palouse as well on the Idaho side that will gradually cross the state line here over the next hour. So things are going to get stormier around the Palouse. You can see that as well. If you're in Lewiston, I want you to keep an eye on this storm that is just to the south, just to the north rather, of Craigmont. So as this tracks in, this is about, once again, a little around an hour away, likely going to track just to the east of town here, and that has had a history of producing a little bit of hail. So definitely going to get a lot stormier over the next hour, 2 hours around the Palouse and potentially around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene as well. Chris will be back in just a few minutes with another update.
Matt, thank you. Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Kootenai County has been designated as having a shortage when it comes to professional mental health care workers.
And that's why a new clinic is planning to bring in new therapists to better serve the dire need in that community. Tonight at 6:30, our Natalie Grant shares how Ellie Mental Health is hoping to meet the demand.
Mental health has taken to the national spotlight now more than ever. And here at the new Ellie Mental Health Clinic in Coeur d'Alene, they're trying to revolutionize the industry by putting an extra focus on their staff and in turn better serving their community.
It's your neighbors, it's business owners, it's the nurse or doctor you've seen, it's your kid's school teacher. That's who's coming here.
Making mental health available and accessible. That's the goal of Coeur d'Alene's new Ellie Mental Health Clinic.
There's a dire need in Coeur d'Alene, in the North Idaho community, for the services that we're providing here.
Not only is Ellie hoping to address the dire need to bring more options to community members, but also to professionals, saying their business model supports therapists first.
And so our entire model is to help bring those people in and create an ecosystem and a culture where they can thrive as individuals and then subsequently support the community, support the individuals that need the help.
We have 10 offices here.
It's a revolutionary concept that Julie Craffle, clinical director at Ellie, says is refreshing to see. She has worked in Coeur d'Alene as a therapist for many years, seeing the demand and the burnout firsthand.
I think it's unfortunate in our community, in many communities, but in Coeur d'Alene specifically, we don't have enough opportunity for all of our community members to get in and get the support that they need.
By adding more of these resources to the community, Craffle hopes people start taking care of their mind just like they take care of their body.
Taking care of your body is something that all of us think about, right? We think about, oh, we need to exercise, eat well, that kind of thing. But we often don't think about how we can take care of our mind and our mental health.
And so far, the demand is speaking for itself.
Our clinic is almost full already in terms of patient load, and we just opened our doors.
If you're interested in learning more about the Ellie Mental Health Clinic here or any of our other mental health care options in our area, you can head on over to our website, kxly.com. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
New at 6:30, former NBA All-Star and Sonic legend Shawn Kemp says he is not guilty of assault for a shooting that took place at the Tacoma Mall parking lot back in March. Kemp's lawyers say he fired his gun in self-defense while trying to recover his phone that was stolen earlier in the day. Court documents did not indicate Kemp was shot at. Lithium-ion batteries are found in almost everything, from cell phones, toothbrushes, and now electric cars.
Well, they have become part of our everyday lives, but they could also be dangerous and in some cases even deadly.
Almost like a firecracker. It just goes from one to another to another to another. And as one goes to another, and that thermal, the heat that's developed just continues to increase.
Well, this is Greg Heister, a longtime local broadcaster who uses these kinds of batteries in his cameras for his production company. But while out of town, one of them caught fire while charging, making his home unlivable.
Went up like a Roman candle, it was described to me. Could not be put out.
Good Morning Northwest Derek Dice took a look at what makes these fires so difficult to put out. And we do want to make it clear and easy for you to understand how to take steps to protect your family. It's as easy as grabbing your phone and scanning this code on your screen. It takes you to a page on KXLY.com with tips from Spokane Valley Fire Department meant to protect you and your family. If you want to see Derek's full report, look for this story on KXLY.com. The ultra-competitive application window to become an FAA air traffic controller opens tomorrow. It happens once a year for just 3 days.
Those specialized workers are in high demand, with low staffing levels prompting warnings of possible gridlock and delays for the summer travel season. New at 6:30, CNN's Pete Muntean went to a top air traffic control university to find out what it takes to be a competitive applicant.
Warnings of not enough workers for your next trip stretch from cockpits to control towers, with the FAA's own air traffic controllers now in short supply. The agency says nationwide, 2 in every 10 controller jobs are empty. The problem is so severe at a key facility in New York that the FAA is warning summer delays at the area's 3 main airports could rise by 45%.
It's a chilling message that we're not able to fly the routes at that level because we don't have enough air traffic controllers.
Now, the federal government is scrambling to play catch-up, opening a rare hiring window Friday. Last year, it was flooded with 58,000 applications. That's 38 candidates for every one opening.
It's the backbone for aviation.
Cameron Smith is one of the air traffic control students here at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Florida, hitting submit on his application. FAA hiring slowed down during the pandemic. Professor and former FAA official Michael McCormick says compounding the problem, the agency shuttered its training academy.
Over time, this builds, and that's why we have such a gap now in the training of controllers and in need to hire so many more.
To see if I have what it takes, I stepped into this control tower simulator to give it a try.
3455 Yankee, clear for departure 16.
Students practice lining up flights for takeoff and landing, issuing fast, specific instructions with no margin for error.
It's so much to keep track of. Yeah. Isn't it a tough gig?
It's probably every single time I ever hear someone say that it's such a stressful job, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can do it.
Spare wings 195, produce speed.
Clearly, the students here are more accustomed to the intensity of this job than I am. It can take 3 years for the FAA to fully train recruits. Acting Administrator Billy Nolan insists hiring is on schedule, but it might not be fast enough to keep flights on schedule this summer.
We're hiring over the next 2 years, 3,300 additional controllers. That'll give us a net plus up of about 500, accounting for retirements and attrition.
A pair of former Gonzaga basketball players have found new homes for next season. One of them is heading to a conference rival. We have the latest coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Give your day a little Kelly.
It's this. This is her name.
Every weekday.
Hello, Clarkson.
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4 and 4 News Now at 5.
From Chud Sr. to Dick Wendell, to Kristen and myself.
And now to our kids. Our goal is to help people drive for generations.
From roll-up windows to power everything. From stick to automatic. From gas to electric.
No one can totally predict what technology is coming our way.
But I can guarantee we will be here before and after the sale, giving you the confidence for generations to come.
That's the Wendell way. Drive for generations.
Has your dishwasher let you down lately?
Then see the latest Bosch dishwashers at Fred's Appliance. Fred's also has models you won't find at the box stores.
Bosch means quality and innovation. New Bosch dishwashers quietly deliver sparkling dishes.
With features like third rack and a new drying system that even dries plastic, Bosch raises the bar for dishwashers.
Fred's has more dishwashers in stock than you'll see anywhere. Come in and see us today.
When we heard about the body in the barrel, our minds were running wild.
Lake Mead, one of the deadliest lakes in America. Warming temperatures are exposing secrets.
Somebody out there is sweating. They know that we've got the evidence.
Secrets of the Lake, tonight on ABC.
Want to get away? This month, when you purchase a new vehicle from Dishman Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep, you'll receive free airfare to wherever you'd like to go.
It's the Great May Getaway at Dishman. Plus, we are loaded with some of the best used inventory we've had in years.
When you purchase a new vehicle from Dishman in May, you'll receive free airfare to a destination of your choice.
It's the perfect time to get into a new Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, or Jeep during the Great May Getaway at Dishman.
It's spring decking season, which means it's time to get the best selection and pricing before summer from the decking pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop for wood.
Get it done now before the sun comes out.
Windsor Plywood.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. For News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Well, just since the top of the hour, we've seen things bubbling up in the heat of the day, mainly from the LC Valley through the Idaho Palouse and into southern portions of Lake Coeur d'Alene. But they're also starting to cross the border into Whitman County, and these storms are intensifying. We zoom in just a little bit. This is one of the storms we are keeping a very close eye at, as a history of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and the potential for up to nickel-size hail. But we're seeing these storms intensify also. This one, again, moving into Washington and around southern portions of Lake Coeur d'Alene and St. Mary's. A stronger storm moving to the northwest, and could it be impacting Harrison, Plummer, Worley here in the next hour. Meanwhile, these are the main storm threats with these storms: possible damaging winds, large hail, and flooding. As I mentioned, we've had up to nickel-size hail so far with these storms. This is not considered severe. Quarter-size hail, that is when we will see a severe thunderstorm warning issued, and so far that's an inch in diameter hail. We have not had any indication of that, but the conditions are favorable to see hail up to this size. I don't think we have to worry about some of these bigger size hail, but that is enough to cause some damage to cars as well as roof damage. Winds so far, we've had up to 50-mile-per-hour gusts, and that is enough to cause some damage to tree limbs, carports, and sheds. Don't think we're going to get into this heavier wind gust where we have trees down and major power outages, although we could have some power outages. Meanwhile, there are flood watches in effect for the very heavy rain coming along with these storms, and a couple of areas where we have flood warnings. We'll be watching that closely, and your First Alert weather app will let you know right away if you are in the path of an oncoming storm or if there has been any kind of warning issued for your region. Forecast radar shows thunderstorms continuing to move through the region. Here's 11 o'clock tonight. Get a little bit of a break, not completely overnight. Still some rain and isolated thunderstorm activity. Tomorrow morning, here's 8 o'clock. We have the chance for more thunderstorms developing. They should not be as intense. And then at least a chance of light rain throughout Friday and right on into Friday evening. Saturday, the chance of rain continues with a significant drop in our temperatures down into the 50s for highs. A little bit warmer for Bloomsday and quite a bit drier. May actually stay dry during the race, and then more showers possible Monday and Tuesday. A warming trend. We're back up around 70 by Thursday. We'll be back at the end of the show for the one last update on our radar. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. New at 6:30, a high school senior from Ohio, both a star student and athlete. Now she's teaching us all the meaning of determination. ABC's Will Gans has her story.
Ebony Sherwood is a star senior at Stebbins High School in Dayton, Ohio. She's student body vice president, captain of the track team, a varsity basketball player, and a 4-year football player. But on March 7th, the unthinkable happened.
We were stretching. We did our first couple sprints. And that's kind of the last thing I remember about that day.
Ebony collapsing during afternoon practice. With no pulse, trainers started chest compressions on Ebony and used an AED machine. Eventually, the 18-year-old was transferred to University of Cincinnati Medical Center, the very same hospital that helped save Damar Hamlin's life after he too faced a cardiac event on the field. Doctors learning Ebony had suffered the dreaded Widowmaker heart attack, and less than 2 weeks later, she underwent a heart transplant.
Ebony's had a heart attack and a heart transplant. She's a kid who's never been sick a day in her life.
But Ebony is a fighter, already up and walking again.
Where do you find the inspiration to fight as hard as you're fighting?
Mom just taught me, just you don't give up, you don't quit. kind of just keep going one day at a time.
The staff at UC Medical Center reflecting that inspiration right back to her, throwing Ebony her own prom since she missed the one at school.
We got together our group of coworkers and just decorated and tried to make it as special as possible because, you know, every girl deserves a prom.
Her goal now, to walk across the stage at graduation.
Her getting to graduation, I feel like, means more than just getting through the classes and getting the grades. It's really that she's like fought for her life and gotten to that point where she can get across the stage.
Ebony and her mom are so grateful to the trainers that helped save her life that day, and they're now on a mission to get more people CPR certified and increase access to those AED machines. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
This is how legends are.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Spring is finally here. What a great time to visit Ritter's Garden and Gift. Stroll through Spokane's largest greenhouses packed with striking new flowers, grasses, vegetables, and more. Explore thousands of plants across the nursery. And right now, all 3-gallon and larger rhododendrons and azaleas are 20% off. Live life beautifully. Ritter's Garden and Gift on North Division.
It's time to beef up your ride and get dialed in for summer during the amazing spring savings event this week at Snows Auto. Get your window tints now before the summer rush hits from the pros at Snows Auto.
Today, tonight, and tomorrow, Cal Cars is kicking off the month with a 72-hour sale at all 3 Cal locations, where they are marking down over 72 trucks, cars, and SUVs to sell fast. Plus, delaying all payments until August 1st. And $0 down is all you need. This is your chance to save thousands and trade your old vehicle in for something better with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included. But it's only today, tonight, and tomorrow at Cal.
This is Dan. Dan is digging a tunnel. Dan really wants to attend the MLB All-Star Week at T-Mobile Park, so Dan is digging. Too bad no one told Dan about the $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery. Each purchase comes with a chance to win one of 14 MLB All-Star Week prize packages. But Dan doesn't know that, so Dan is digging. Good luck, Dan. You might want to hurry. Or go get a $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery.
Don't miss the grand opening celebration of Quality Stoves and Spa's inspiring new showroom. The largest selection of fireplaces, inserts, and stoves at tremendous savings, featuring Lopi and Fireplace Extraordinaire. And Saturday at Quality Stoves and Spas in Post Falls.
Chewelah Casino is now Mr. Casino Hotel.
Well, that Gonzaga-LMU game is going to be very interesting next season. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minitso. Now, after a season of subtweets and much speculation, former Gonzaga Bulldog Dominic Harris is staying in the West Coast Conference to continue his college career. The redshirt sophomore announced this morning he is committed to Loyola Marymount, the same team that ended the Zags' 75-game home winning streak last season. Harris played just 35 games in his Gonzaga career, averaging 2 points a game. Another former Zag has found his new home. Center Efton Reed announced he is signing with Wake Forest. After playing some meaningful minutes in the non-conference portion of the schedule, Reed saw his playing time drop in the second half of the season as he averaged just 2 points and 1 rebound a game. The former 5-star prospect will join fellow former Bulldog Hunter Salas, who committed to the Demon Deacons just last week. Former Washington State quarterback Jayden de Laura agreed to settle a civil lawsuit that alleges he and a former high school teammate sexually assaulted a young woman in 2018. The amount of the settlement wasn't disclosed. Now, according to the civil complaint, the woman said de Laura and his teammate Kamoi Latu assaulted her in October of 2018 on the campus of St. Louis High School in Hawaii, where de Laura and Latu played football. Both players and the woman were minors at the time. The civil complaint also says Delora and Latu pleaded guilty to second-degree assault in family court, but neither received jail time. The woman filed the lawsuit back in December of 2021. Former Boise State and Shadle Park High School quarterback Brett Rippon signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Rams. Rippon spent the past 4 seasons with the Denver Broncos, where he went 2-1 in 3 starts. Rippon will be competing with former Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett for the backup QB spot there in L.A. The Seattle Mariners taking on the Oakland A's. It's May the 4th, and that means it's Star Wars Day at the ballpark. Oakland's J.J. Bleday hits this one to a galaxy far, far away. 1-0 A's. But just like the Empire, the Mariners strike back. Taylor Trammell hits this one out in a hurry. Less than 12 parsecs to be exact. Mariners take a 2-1 lead there. Now, Esteury Ruiz answers for the Athletics. Ruiz hits this one into the outfield. Seattle's Jared Kelenic tries to make a diving grab, but no one told him do or do not. There is no try. Run scores, game tied. Now to the 4th inning we go. Game still tied. Bases loaded for Seattle's Colton Wong. Wong, he's a veteran. He's done this before, and he tells the young Mariners, this is the way, guys. Wong delivers with a base hit. 2-run score. This ties this or puts the Mariners up by 2 runs here, but the 3-game trilogy belongs to Seattle as they complete the sweep of Oakland. 5-3 is the final out in the Bay Area. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
At Finley, downtown Toyota, you'll always find that friendly sales staff ready to help you pick out that perfect ride. A team of skilled service technicians to keep your vehicle running smooth. A great selection of new and certified used vehicles to choose from. And the financing to get you behind the wheel today. So if you want a quality vehicle for a great price, you'll find it at Finley. Finley Toyota's downtown.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader. It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart.
Baby, you're playing hard to forget. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
Aloha! The many nations of the Asian, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander community unite in a celebration of spellbinding magic featuring Northwest Hula and the show-stopping Samoan Fire Knife Dancers on May 12th at Spokane's Riverfront Park. Experience the rich cultural heritage of our community through live performances, 100-plus vendors, historical exhibits, and cultural demos on May 13th at Spokane's Riverfront Park. Come hungry and support our local food trucks. Admission is free. Visit SpokaneUnitedWeStand.org for more information.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Cholula Casino is now Mr. Casino Hotel. New name means new fun. In celebration of our new name and our 29th anniversary, you could win cash and 2 tickets to see George Strait at Lumen Field in Seattle. It's easy to enter. Check in at the Sun Club daily in May for an entry. The more days you check in, the more chances you have to win. Cholula Casino is now Mr. Casino Hotel.
Deborah Norville in London for the coronation of the King. Next, Inside Edition.
All the pomp and ceremony as only the Brits can do.
Behind the scenes as TV anchors converge on London. Exclusive coverage with Deborah, Allison Hall, and Britain's Got Talent judge Amanda Holden. Then, why they call this woman the killer clown.
My mother was gunned down, murdered by a clown.
Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Strong thunderstorms moving northwest through the region. A strong one around Deary moving to the northwest, producing nickel-sized hail, 40-mile-per-hour gusts. That 4 News Now First Alert weather app. Keep it handy and track the storms through the evening.
Again, the pets are going to be noticing maybe even before the storms get into your neighborhood. Yeah. I know some people were saying their pets, it's, you know, that feeling that they get, they start to kind of alert you.
Get a little antsy and start looking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know.
Keep an eye out. Thanks, Chris. We'll see you tonight at 11.